was your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 14th day of May in the year 2018. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Prison Service has called in the police, and the two have launched an investigation into how inmates were able to acquire large bottles of expensive liquor and have them inside the New Amsterdam prison. Photographs posted on Facebook on Sunday by an inmate of the prison showed several of the prisoners posing with bottles of SARA and Hennessy, along with cranberry juice and energy drinks, as they all took part in a drinking spree inside the jailhouse on Sunday. The photographs were posted on the Facebook page of one of the prisoners, who is currently on remand in a murder case. The men could also be seen smoking what appeared to be marijuana joints. The latest issue is an embarrassing one for the prison service and has once again raised security concerns at the country's prisons. 2 weeks ago, a frustrated prison director, Gladwin Samuels, complained about the ongoing problem of smuggling of prohibited items into the prisons. He warned prison wardens about being a part of the smuggling efforts and reminded them of the action that could be taken once they are found in the act. 3 prison officers were recently removed from the Luziknan jail after they were spotted throwing a bag over the fence at the back of the jailhouse. The bag was suspected to have been used to smuggle marijuana into the prison. But the presence of large glass bottles in the prison could pose a serious problem and threat to security of prison officers if the same glass bottles are used as weapons. The prison director today confirmed knowledge of the photographs, which are on social media, and announced the investigation. Last July, prisoners of the Camp Street prison set that facility on fire during an escape by several prisoners. A young prison officer was shot dead by the escaping prisoners. The nearby sports club for prison officers was also gutted when prisoners were moved there during the efforts to get them to safety. While the head of the State Assets Recovery Agency, SARA, Dr. Clive Thomas, today confirmed that there are currently 2 matters against officials in the current APNU-AFC government that have been referred to the agency for investigation. The matters were referred to the agency by the opposition member of parliament and chief whip Gail Teixeira and the Transparency International Guyana group. And both matters relate to the $18 million signing bonus which the government received from ExxonMobil and placed into a special bank account at the Bank of Guyana instead of the consolidated fund. Dr. Thomas pointed out that SARA has not been able to commence investigations into the 2 matters because of the existing list of other priority cases currently affected by a lack of capacity, time and resources. The SARA head said too that the agency cannot assume guilt after receiving a referral, and it has to also guard against being used as a tool for personal and political vendettas.
Criminal proceedings have precedence over civil proceedings. So, for example, at this point in time, the number of criminal proceedings that have been undertaken, but we also have as our target civil proceedings against sometimes the same set of persons and sometimes not. But we would have to give precedence to that because crime takes precedence over civil proceedings.
Dr. Thomas explained that the agency has not commenced investigations into the 2 referrals, but it intends to do so when the time is right. He made the disclosures today after signing an agreement with the Financial Intelligence Unit for the sharing of information in a secured and structured manner. The 2 agencies will now exchange information in relation to financial crimes locally in a bid to bolster investigation and prosecution on both ends. And still with the State Asset Recovery Agency, the agency has confirmed that it has been tracking stolen Guyana assets which are now overseas. A deputy head of SARA, Aubrey Hetzenretimaya, would not offer details on the assets found, but said the agency has found stuff that people have abroad. He was speaking this morning to media operatives on the sidelines of a training program of the Financial Intelligence Unit in the Guyana Revenue Authority at a post office here in Georgetown. He said SARA is preparing to advance its first batch of cases within the next month and intends to do so in both local and foreign courts. A young child died from head injuries and several other persons, including other children, were rushed to the hospital on Sunday afternoon following a smash-up between a car and a minibus on the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. The 2 vehicles were traveling in the opposite direction on the highway when the driver of the car, PMM 548, swerved into the path of the Route 42 minibus and the 2 slammed head-on into each other. According to reports, the driver of the motor car lost control while driving at a fast rate and encountering a small pool of water that had settled on the roadway from heavy downpours. The entire left side of the minibus was ripped apart as it toppled several times. The car's front was also ripped apart. Concerned passers-by rushed the injured to the hospital at Diamond, where some were initially treated before being sent to the Georgetown Hospital. An investigation is on the way this evening. And finally this evening, the daughter of businessman Paul Davey is expected in court as early as tomorrow to face charges related to the alleged firing of a loaded firearm and the pointing of that firearm at a policeman. News source understands that 25-year-old Marianne Davey was arrested over the weekend after she fired several shots from her gun in the Thomas Lands area just outside the GMR-NSC. The woman is a licensed firearm holder. It is unclear what may have triggered the incident, but she appeared drunk at the time according to police sources. There are reports that when a plainclothes police officer attempted to approach the woman, she turned the gun and aimed it at him and pulled the trigger twice. However, by that time, she was out of bullets. She reportedly hopped into her car and sped away from the scene, but was later apprehended. The file on the matter has been sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions for her to offer advice on the possible charges. Police investigators are reportedly seeking an attempted murder charge, but will have to wait on the advice to be offered by the DPP. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.